When you're in a relationship with someone for a while, you are going to hurt one another. That's just a given. You are two different people with two different upbringings, two different ways of navigating the world, and sometimes they're going to bump up against each other in ways that don't feel good. So what do you do? What do you do to have the hurt, the upset, the breach of trust bring you closer together instead of driving you apart? First of all, if you have agreements and one or the other of you don't keep that agreement and there's a massive breach of trust, like you have an agreement to be monogamous and one or the other of you goes out on that agreement and sleeps with somebody else, that's a larger breach of trust that usually you need extra support to navigate. So there are certain breaches of trust. There are certain disagreements and upsets that you really do need to work out with a third party in the room. Someone like a coach like me who coaches individuals and couples in relationship, or a couples therapist, someone like that, because there are going to be moments where you need someone listening for what's not being said. You need someone dispassionate who cares about you, but is not in the situation, who can help you see the situation more clearly and help you each do your individual work that needs to be done in order to come back into closeness again. People say time heals all wounds. And the thing is, some wounds don't heal in time. They heal with direct work. Because like a fabric, you know, when you're wearing a sweater and something catches and there's a little pull in the sweater, that pull, first of all, it can get caught again. Now there's something sticking out of the sweater that's easy to catch. And over time, the sweater will start to unravel. You'll develop a hole there, and then the sweater will start unraveling. The relationship is similar. If there are places that you just, catch where there's a hook and there's damage and you just leave it, over time, that fabric is going to begin to unravel in your relationship. So it's really worth doing the work to deliberately work through the upset to come closer again and actually get to know one another more deeply through having upset one another. So like I said, if it's a big breach, you want to work on that with another person. And if it's a smaller breach, like they didn't come home at the exact time they said they would, and you got scared that something was happening, but nothing was, or they made a dismissive gesture that had you feel, like you don't matter, or they said something that fell right into your well of hurt from your entire life, Sometimes I think we actually call people into our life, our relationship, specifically our relationship partners, to work out these historical wounds. So if you're someone who's afraid of abandonment, you will likely attract a withdrawing or abandoning kind of partner. Not because something's wrong with you, although your picker may be a little bit off, but because you're being given an opportunity to work through this wound with another person in hopefully a healing way. So with something small, like they made a gesture and you felt dismissed by them, something like that, where you didn't feel properly attended to, or you didn't feel heard, let's say, in a conversation, that kind of thing, to work through, there are a few steps involved. Number one is a step within yourself to go in and see what's been touched. Clearly, some tender place inside got touched by that gesture, by the lateness, by the phrase they said, by their withdrawal, whatever it is they've done, something got touched inside that's a tender place. So the first piece of the puzzle is to figure out what that is. And then once you've gotten clear on the thing that got touched, that got hit in the upsetting situation, then you communicate about it by asking if it's a good time, so that, and asking if your partner is available to listen, because it's really important to make sure that both of you are really present to the conversation, because you don't want to repeat the same thing again of trying to get their attention when they're not available to pay attention to you, and then you repeat the pattern of feeling rejected, right? So make sure you both opt into the conversation by saying, yes, this is a good time, and then share what you learned. Like, wow, when you said that, it reminded me of when my father used to say that to my mother, and I was looking at them and it was so painful, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And I felt, you know, whatever it is from your childhood that got touched, et cetera. So bring your vulnerability to your partner instead of your blame. I'm going to say it again. A blaming thing is, when you did that, I felt that. So don't do that. You know, it's kind of, you suck and you did it wrong. An alternate approach, that's going to create distance. But an alternate approach that's going to bring you closer together is one of, oh, when you said that, it landed in the place in me that is afraid I don't really matter, or the place where I wasn't heard as a child and I had to just do what my parents wanted and they didn't really care about my needs. Something like that, right? Where you're bringing your vulnerability to your partner and revealing more of yourself. That's an activity that actually brings you closer together. So step one is to look inside and figure out what got touched by their behavior. And step two is to communicate about it in a non-blaming way that reveals your vulnerability, that actually invites them deeper in, if you've both opted into the conversation and can be present. Step three is to ask for what you need. Is there a different action that you'd rather they do? Is there a communication you'd rather they make? Stand for your desire, stand for what you want, and ask them. And in that asking, you'll learn a lot about your partner. Are they someone who wants to give you what you need? Are they someone who wants to grow with you and expand with you and be vulnerable with you? You'll find that out if you communicate. So that, I think that's also a great thing, because if they're not someone who's ready to be vulnerable with you or to adjust their behavior and your behavior, to not just to avoid upset, because I really don't believe in tiptoeing around one another to keep the peace, but more so, are they willing to adjust to still be their full self and also be caring toward you, knowing that you have a sensitivity toward a certain thing, right? So in this way, you can have a lot of playfulness in your relationship. You can have a lot of freedom to be the way you are in your relationship without having to tiptoe around and kind of, be afraid all the time of stepping on eggshells or whatever around each other. That is not something I advocate. I advocate for having enough transparency of communication and enough self-knowledge of your own triggers so that you can use the moments where you step on each other's landmines as opportunities to get closer, opportunities to get more vulnerable, opportunities to get more transparent, more honest, more emotionally intimate, really. Because it's the emotional intimacy over time in a long-term relationship that will keep your physical intimacy both present at all and also fulfilling and nurturing and expanding. So the two go hand in hand longer term. So I'm going to recap. If it's a big breach, you want to hire somebody to help you work through it together. If you've decided to stay together, go ahead and hire a coach, either an individual coach, a couples coach, or a therapist to help you navigate the big breach in such a way that you can come back together again and move forward without this thread hanging out of the sweater of your relationship that's going to just get caught on stuff again and unravel the whole thing. Oh, look at me. I just marked my shirt. So for the big breaches, do that. For the smaller breaches, you can work through it with one another directly. And I suggest you do it like this. Number one, figure out in here with yourself what got touched. Two, set up a time to talk that works for both of you, and bring your vulnerability to your partner. When you did this, it touched this place in me, and this historical place, and I got hurt. And this is what I'd like us to do going forward. Are you open to that? Would you be open to doing this instead, et cetera? Like negotiate a new agreement going forward. You might also want to write down this agreement so you can remember it, because if you just say it in the moment, you may forget. So if you're actually crafting some kind of agreement you want to have for your relationship, you might want to write it down somewhere where you have a shared Google Doc that you can refer to when you're like, oh yeah, what was it that we said we were going to do? It's good to have to save it somewhere so you don't have to try to remember it all by yourself. And then, ask for the new behavior. And then I would say the final piece is, if you've made a request of your partner to do or say things differently and they actually do it, thank them, praise them, acknowledge them. This goes such a long way toward having the relationship you want, because we all want to win with each other. Of course, if we're wired certain ways, we don't want to win, but hopefully you're not in a relationship with somebody like that, that's just out for themselves, or, doesn't care about your needs. I'm not talking about those kind of relationships. I'm talking about healthy, fundamentally healthy relationships where each person wants to treat the partner well and be treated well and navigate these minefields together in such a way that you actually heal, that you actually diffuse some of that reactivity around certain topics that always set you off. That's the potential of a relationship. It's a training ground for your capacity to hold more, for your capacity to be with different experiences that aren't always comfortable. Your relationship is one of the most potent playgrounds for that. And it begins by first knowing what gets touched when you get upset, and then communicating about it, and then working through it together in such a way that you actually come closer together on the other side, instead of having this thread in the sweater that just will unravel the whole shebang over time. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Marie Elizabeth Molly. I'm a relationship alchemist, and I work with people, all the mundane and nitty-gritty muck of life, to craft beautiful, stable, playful, fun, transformative, growth-oriented relationships. Stick around and watch more videos, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.